let's go. Let's just get into it. Let's get
Who's up
real.
first? Who's
I'll
top
go
left?
first. I'll go
Okay.
first. I got a shot from. I'm pretty sure you guys all know what this is. Calvin, do you know what this
Thor
is?
Ragnarok.
This is
Thor
right?
Ragnarok is correct. Yeah.
Fuck, I was trying to do the God of War. Ragnarok.
Was
The
this
fuck with you.
Sundance? No, not Sundance. What am I saying?
What?
Rising Sun.
Rising Sun. Yeah, that was
Yes.
Yeah.
Rising Sun. I remember
This is why I
seeing
know that
this.
studio.
Yeah,
Such
and
a
being
pretty
like,
show.
"What the fuck? This looks so cool."
Yeah, this
especially for like
is
a
cool.
Marvel show. It's very like. It's not often they do like a full like stylized like flashback thing or like a cut to a different style
I mean,
of thing.
I would say you look at this frame, you say what franchise is this from?
Yeah, that's true.
You would go Marvel.
Yeah,
It's,
for sure.
you do Marvel 2000 circa 2017. Like.
But it was still unique. It had some style to it, with like the
No,
the
it was still
rotating
pretty,
like,
yeah,
light
it was
rig
so
around
cool, but it's-
constantly, especially in motion. This whole scene, like where it was like up close on her face, and like they had like the whole light.
That's
rig
true.
spinning
The other
around
shots
and
kind of
stuff.
do better than this one because I feel like this shot kind of has this weird issue of like orange hard cut to blue. Like there's not like proliferation of like these orangey portals in the cloud.
Mm.
It's just like orange and then blue. But I'm sure there's a reason.
It's weird.
for
You
that.
guys immediately think Marvel when you see this shot. I think like this is just a
Doesn't this? But the
Zack
colors and the
Schneider.
glows.
It is.
Oh,
it's
okay.
contrast.
No.
quite
This
crunching
isn't
enough.
Schneider.
Slow-mo.
You can no. This isn't Schneider because you need to make this darker by 2 stops before it goes Schneider. You'd have to crush everything so you can't see anything except blacks and highlights.
Yeah.
This is. I think I get what you're saying, Colton. I think this is too bright for Schneider. But genuinely, I think like that would be like the thing that just because everything he does is always so dark.
Yeah. It would be like
Pisses
that
me off.
one column or pillar in like the bottom right. It would be like that level
That
of
would be
density
black.
like everywhere.
Yeah, that would be darker, and then all the other rocks would be black with like bits of fog.
Looking at this now, I just realized I can't quite tell if I'm saying it right, but in the top right,
Mhm.
like right above Hela, is that like some sort of building pillar poking up
Yeah,
in
I
the
never
clouds?
noticed that before. It kind of looks like it,
Oh,
but
like the one that's vertical.
Yeah, it's like going straight
I'm
up rather than like angled.
It's not. Oh god, that'd be funny. I don't.
it probably is.
I mean,
it's probably
it's
some
got a curve to it, so like
Norse
It does have, but it
reference.
kind of looks like some sort of cylindrical like castle tower. I don't know. I've never realized it before. I thought it was
Yeah, I never noticed that either.
I'm
Weird.
sure it's just part of the. It'd be weird for them to put something so obscure that I don't remember being a story going
That's
on.
probably
this
some
movie.
obscure comic reference to the tower she was kept in or something or whatever.
Yeah,
Or
but, like,
just be a
why,
rock.
if you're gonna do that,
mean,
make
yeah.
it like visible. Where here it's like one
Well,
little
it doesn't really
highlight line
matter,
that's
though.
curved.
You
Like
know,
I don't
it's
think
just
it's
a little
enough
Easter
for
egg.
them. I don't. I'm saying I think it's a rock.
Yeah, could be. Could just be a
It does
rock.
kind of look like a rock too. See if
Yeah.
we can-
I will
And
say
then the
it's-
classic like VFX movie. They've done this a lot, like the portal, like the tentacly black goo.
Hmm.
I feel like this is such a staple of. I mean, Doctor Strange had it as well. The Multiverse of Madness, that was like a thing that was all over the place. Morbius had this kind of like tentacly gray stuff that just is like affects puke.
Yeah, I mean, it does look cool,
It
especially
looks
with,
cool.
like, the
I'm not really
glows
complaining. I just
scattered
think it's
through it.
funny because I've
But I mean-
used this type of element from effects from like so many times.
Yeah,
They like definitely took inspiration of that from like real cosmic shit because like
Oh, 100%.
that stuff looks so like if you ever seen like especially those new like Hubble photographs that have been taken recently of like all like the giant nebula and everything that's like all
Yeah.
looks almost exactly like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it would be like kind of like the what are they called? The Hand of God, the fingers of God, or whatever.
Right.
pillars of God or something like that.
Yeah, those two. Yeah, it's very
pillars of
reminiscent
creation,
of that.
isn't it?
Pillars of creation. That's what. Yes. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like cloudy, like misty.
Yeah, it's very spacey. Anyways, we talked about this a lot, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
cool.
it's a
shot,
very
cool
specific
sequence.
effect that I don't feel like exists anywhere other than like what you're talking about, Alex. Nebulous effect.
Yeah,
and it's
like
fucking
you're-
in everything. It's weird.
Whenever I see videos or not videos, pictures of those, I'm always a little depressed that we'll never actually see that with our own eyes because those pictures are taken in different wavelengths that we can't visually see.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
space
yeah.
is just
They're just
black.
composites
It's
to a
just
certain degree.
yeah.
There's
So
no, I
Also
mean,
there's
there's nowhere
probably
near
like
enough
lights that are
light.
given a color coordination
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
rather
But also,
than
like,
our
the scale
reality
of
and what
those
we
things
they're
can
are
see.
probably
also.
they're also probably like already gone too,
Or
because
yeah,
of
That's
like
true.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
just
mean,
from
like, I
like
think the
all
width of the
the
pillar is like a couple, like, million light years. You know, and
that's
then when
so
you see a
crazy.
photo of it, it's like 20
Yeah.
pixels wide.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Space is
It's
crazy.
always so crazy to
Yeah,
see.
don't start thinking about scale and universe stuff.
No, it doesn't make sense.
There's I can't remember what it is, but I'm pretty sure there's a study talking about how once you get past the number like 1,000 or like 800 to 1,000, humans just can't comprehend numbers that big anymore. Like you just start to compress it to such a degree. There's just no way to visualize that much.
I don't know about you guys, but I remember like being a kid thinking about how large space was, and it used to make me like really upset. I used to get
I
very
always
upset
was
about
like,
it.
it can't be more than a million. That's what I wouldn't say a unit. I wouldn't say like a million. It would just be
1 million.
It's not bigger than a million. Like obviously
Yeah.
not. And then I think at some point I found out what a billion was, and I was like, that's silly. Why would you ever? I remember being like, anything somebody said was big or huge, I'd be like, well, it can't be more. You know, it can't be more than a million.
Can't be more than space.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can't be more.
Anyways, what a
yeah,
weird
I
tangent.
want to talk about one last thing with the shot. I really do like how well her silhouette plays against the backdrop.
That
It's
smoke
just,
right behind
it's just
her.
a perfect silhouette,
Mhm.
perfect pose. So it's like pops right out, and then the smoke and elements in the back just perfectly
There's-
fade
yeah.
into the background.
And how
So-
green she is.
and how green
Mhm.
she is. Yeah, so it's just
You know
Even
what?
with
Straight
the
out.
green too, they've even managed to get a good amount of shadow on her cape as well, like on her cloak. Like it's actually pretty. You can tell it's like all wavy.
This is the type of shot you look at and you know what the DI notes are. Like, as in they wanted a matte to like make her 4 times brighter than she should be.
Oh, yeah.
And like they
pretty
also also for both of the whatever they're called portals. Like I feel like they got cranked.
Probably.
I don't know. I don't know, but I feel like this could be such a shot that it's like we want mattes for everything. Just so they can crank it around.
we'll have some more shots to talk about that later on.
But before
Is it
that,
But for
is it
now,
just-
Oh no.
what did you bring
Anyways,
us,
it's a pretty
Alex?
shot.
Oh yeah, me. Mine aren't necessarily.
No, that's fine.
I want to say like VFX.
No,
yeah,
that's cool.
We
That's
talk about
But-
everything and anything.
Yeah, no. I don't know exactly how you're going about displaying them, Cade. On
Mhm.
like, but if you're starting with the top left one, it's a very common theme throughout the whole show. Is this whole light and dark thing going on here? And the character on the right too,
Oh, yeah.
he actually spends a lot of time in about a bunch of the dark shots too, and then he ends up going through something that he then somehow just transitions out of them to being into the light shots. But then Carmi on the left, the main character here, he's like stuck in all the dark shots throughout the whole show, and you can visibly see him just like progress. And every time he's not in like the dark shots, he's like, if you move on to not the next shot but the one below with the food, this whole his whole vibe throughout this whole show is basically like he can't.
I'm depressed.
I'm depressed, and he can't forgive. He literally can't forgive himself, and he can't accept anything that's good. And so this whole throughout the entire series so far, he's trying to perfect this dish, and
Right.
every single time he does it, they show like it's like once every like 3 episodes or something like that. They show him trying it again, and then he stares at it like this, and he throws it out because it's not good enough. But every single time you look at it, it's like this perfect little piece of beauty, which symbolizes like a good amount of love that he actually had in like a prior episode that he kind of fucked up a bit. And so he's not able to finish this dish at all until he fully accepts who he is and actually can move on and forgive himself and apologize. He can't say sorry. That's not like one of his. He can say it, but he never means it. And it's a repetitive notion between him and like all the characters in the entire show. He'll apologize, but he never means it. And this dish right here, he's gonna. I already know like when he finishes this dish, it'll be the time where he's actually able to progress in his life.
Yeah.
But throughout the entire show so far, it's just been this dish, and he's been throwing it out every time. and then he gets all depressed afterwards. As you can see, he's walking into the freezer again. But
You know what this perfectly reminds me of? Well, it's definitely like the troubled artist or the
100%.
what's the word I'm thinking of?
Angsty.
Not necessarily angsty, but just so passionate that they can't let go of like the minute, smallest things.
Like a
It
perfectionist.
reminds me of perfectionist. It reminds me of there's this clip of Gary Oldman, for the Dracula movie that he was working on. I don't know if it was in the 90s and whatnot. There's one clip where he fucks up the lines that he was saying to this one actress during rehearsals, and he just like beats the living shit out of his forehead with his hand. He's like, "Fucking stupid, I didn't get the lines right. Fuck." And it just I haven't seen the show of the bear exactly, but I can assume that he beats himself up constantly because he
100%.
can't get it right. Yeah. So it's that I can totally understand what the character's going through, and you could see it in any artistic self. Even when we're, I don't know, working VFX or our own artistic mediums, we can all relate to this character and be like, fuck, why isn't this good enough? Why can't it be better? Yeah.
I also don't know if like they I don't think they did, but his eyes are naturally that blue, right, Cade?
I'm pretty sure.
Because
they could
I
have
just
totally pushed it. That's
I
one of
don't-
those things
I
that they
think
could.
they might have, because this whole show is analogous. Like it's all blue, like all the time, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure his
Yeah,
eyes
it's
are
very
blue, and then
blue.
just whatever grade they do just kind of enhances it too.
I think they might, because it's
I
definitely
mean, that's a normal thing. Like color correcting people's eyes. That's a thing that happens all the time.
they definitely stand out a lot in the show.
He could be wearing
They stand out
contacts
quite-
too. I doubt it
He
though.
very
I
well
think his
could.
eyes
But
are blues.
But I've also seen him in interviews, and his eyes are pretty blue. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're messing with his eyes individually.
Just might be a happy coincidence, really.
I think
where
so,
like
yeah.
I mean, they might
Everything
be lighting
is-
to them as well.
Yeah.
You know.
everything's
It is
blue
what
and
it is,
upset.
so.
But
Yeah, it's a very pretty show. If you guys haven't watched
it is very
That's-
pretty. Like it, especially for just like, oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He's got some marbles.
Yeah, they're pretty
blues.
gray blue. Yeah. You know what? They might be color correcting his eyes. Just looking at
Alright.
comparing
Looks
that
like a
to
little
that.
bit, like a very small
Yeah.
amount. It looks like.
Start it though. Meh. Anyways,
Who knows? But yeah, no, those are my shots. As I really like how deep they went with this, like because they don't really like explain any of that at all, and so it's like,
I've always thought,
kinda cool
like,
how
I
they-
mean, shooting a show is such a fucking nightmare. But also to shoot a show that's that's well done. But then, because that's so much work and so much planning and organization, and then being like, okay, let's shoot an undertone symbolization of this light dark arc on top of it. I'm always just like, how the fuck? Like, that has to be somebody's entire job. I mean, I guess that's the whole
Maybe
point of having a
maybe
good
a
DP
DP,
or
yeah.
like a lighting.
That's what makes good TV.
But it's like
Yeah.
the director's busy with other shit. He's, like maybe he's talked about it with his DP or something at some point, right? But it's not like he could be checking every shot. You know what I mean? Like I've
Yeah, they
always wondered
can.
how much. No, I don't think so. Not on like a shoot day, right? Like you're not thinking. He's not running through every single shot, being like, "These are the things we need," like live. Like I'm wondering how much prep goes into it, or if he's just like letting the DP be like they've had this conversation and they're like, okay.
Probably
I
both.
think so.
Where they
I've
probably
always
plan some
wondered that.
things and then just putting trust in your DP.
Yeah,
You do also have like a script supervisor and like a shot script supervisor like on the day as well. Like they'll show you whatever.
Do you think something like
stills.
that would be written into the script?
Not
Not
written
necessarily.
into
No,
the
it's not written
script,
to the
but
script. It's done beforehand. Yeah.
just all the right
Right,
people
okay.
doing their jobs. Where it's probably the script
I guess,
supervisor
like, the
working with the
actual-
DP.
I'm just so
being
used
like,
to
Yeah.
other stuff where it's just everything's a panic reshoot or some shit. Anyways.
Yeah. It's not all supernatural, Calvin.
That's not what I was comparing it to. But I was thinking it's like you're doing so much, but then what happens? You get to a shot, like let's say this shot, that's like the kitchen and the outside,
Mhm.
and then you're like, oh, it's backwards. Do you reach like? Then you're fucked. You know what I mean?
I doubt that they would fuck it up that badly. I remember, you know what's the famous saying? It's like when you're on set, you're acting straight for 5 minutes and then waiting for
Yeah, you wait
50
like
kind of
8
thing
hours.
for setup.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess.
It's
Like,
gotta be
It
in the
just
script
seems,
and
but
everything.
like, okay, you realize the lighting's backwards, you're totally fucked. There's nothing you can do. Like, how do you fix that? You know what I mean? Like, I wonder, maybe they're shooting around it some other way. I don't know. I just
I think it just comes down to good planning. And I mean, this is
yeah,
the
but
same-
like we
set the
know
whole show,
no
so-
one fucking plans anything. So
We don't
I don't
know
I,
that.
I disagree with that.
I think a
Like,
lot of people plan a lot of things.
I guess. I don't
Kevin,
know.
for Dune Part 2, they did like an
Yeah.
entire Unreal Engine simulation of how the sun angle is going to look in the exact location that they're going to be, so they know where all the
What
keys
time
will
to
be
film.
and what time and day it'll be. I think a
I mean,
TV
if they-
show
if
who
they
has
had that much
who has
planning,
confined
maybe.
sets can know where every single light will be. They like, and for
every
WandaVision,
single shot?
they have entire UV or not UV. They have entire grid plans of how the entire shots
I
are going to
guess
look
so.
with the lighting setup.
Yeah.
But I feel like nothing's
know what they're doing.
storyboarded or like set up to that point anymore. Like
I
you
think a lot
say
of
that, and then I can name 20 films that I've worked on that didn't
and
have this
there's
planning
plenty of
and had
films that
10
totally
times
fuck
the
up.
budget. So but my point is, like, I wonder what the difference is.
This
If
is
it
an
is just
actual
tons of
artistic.
planning.
I think it is just the
Group.
planning. I think some
I
shows,
guess
like,
like
you're
it
talking
has to
about,
just be the planning, right?
just
Like
don't do
it's
it.
not like these guys have more money to stock a set than Marvel and rejig it.
I mean, this is like in a major award-winning Emmy TV series.
Yeah, but
who's
that's not what
taken
I'm
the world by
saying.
storm.
I'm saying it has to be planning, right? That's what I'm trying.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It just has to be brutal amounts of planning, which would be fun as fuck. But oh my god, you don't want to get anything wrong. I'm sure they get something wrong sometimes. Like everyone does.
I'm
There's
sure.
no amount of planning, and they have to. But I guess that's the whole point of being like, okay, everyone chill out for.
Yeah, he
4
gets
hours.
his food dishes wrong every time. That's why he keeps doing it.
Anyways,
Yeah, like the amount of coordination that would go into doing all of this too, just making sure it's proper is wild.
Yeah.
Just coordination in general. I mean, like me and Olivia were just talking about like the Olympics right now and like how there's like, I don't know how many fucking events they have going on at the same time, and like at these giant venues all over Paris, one in Tahiti, and it has to start at the exact same time with the time changes. Like just a stupid amount of coordination has to go into it. It's just like, oh, I would hate to have that person's job trying to coordinate all that. That would be awful.
Crazy.
anyways,
All right.
Anyways.
What'd you bring us, Colton?
watch the bear.
Watch the Bear.
Bear is
Yeah.
very good.
Out on Disney
That's
Plus.
what I've from right here.
Those are Disney Plus.
It is.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, it's on
I
Disney
brought since House of the Dragon is nearing its last episode next week. I decided to bring up this sequence. I'm not sure if we talked about this sequence before.
I don't think
Might
so.
have. No? Okay. Well, this one was
Spoilers
Kinda
for
like
House of the
Johnny
Dragon.
we did.
Spoiler alert.
Fuck. Whatever. Spoiler alert for last season.
I mean, spoiler alert for anyways.
But this
Yeah.
will lead into something else.
Yeah.
I just love the sequence again. Like I recently rewatched it just because it was that insane in regards to the scale, the lighting, visual effects, everything, planning from how much work had to be done in previs because they completely sell the scale,
I mean,
the
do
lighting
they
on the
though?
actors. They
I
do,
can't
yeah.
tell. Okay,
silhouette
I
in the
can't tell
first-
if this is just blurry
It's
or-
pretty.
or what,
It's
but it looks like they're. I mean, like the final shot. That's like the big dragons.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is a longer lens. That dragon's, I don't know what,
That dragon is much bigger. Like that.
400 feet
Yeah.
long, 500 feet long, like the big
Yeah,
one.
he's huge.
Yeah,
Why the
big,
yeah.
fuck is the wing out of focus? Like when you get like this camera's what 1,000 feet away. You're not gonna get like once you're that far away with a camera, you're not gonna have like this foreground dragon in focus and then the wing that's 200 feet behind him out of focus.
I think
Unless
it's
you're shooting
motion
like
That's
blur.
this.
just motion.
Okay,
blur
is that
right
just
there.
motion blur? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at
So-
some of these and I was like, this looks like the focus, like the dragon on the left, like his foot looks like out of focus, right?
Yeah.
And then his head's in
Oh, yeah.
focus.
So
I guess this is
throughout
just
throughout
motion
this
blur
whole
to fuck.
sequence, there's like a stupid amount of motion blur, and then
Yeah.
there's like
I mean,
almost
it's
like little
raining
periods
and
of like
blurry and
focus.
I'm sure some of
Yeah.
the things I'm seeing is just lensing stuff.
Yeah, compressed images, and then there's probably some lensing stuff, and then just motion blur.
I'm sure it's
Yeah.
lensing stuff.
Yeah, this Colton compared to like what it was. It was the Game of Thrones near the end where there was like a dragon fight. Maybe it was that dark episode that we've always talked and complained about. Where it was
yeah.
like a cool dragon fight or something cool with dragons. I remember just being like
the Battle
oh,
of
you
the
can see
Long
it.
Night or whatever.
Yeah, when the light
Yeah.
flashes or it breezes, you can see something cool. But this one's like, all right, it's cool, it's stormy, it's dark, but hey, you can actually see what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's still hiding stuff in a good way. Like you can kind of see like
Mhm.
where stuff's like smoggy or coming out of the clouds. But it's
Definitely even for the first shot, like they hide it, but they hide it.
yeah,
very
they still give you
artistically
something to look
directed,
at.
hidden, yeah, where it's silhouetted and timed perfectly for it to
There's,
for it to give it the big reveal.
Yeah.
In this sequence is there's also a shot where it's like down up like the first one, and the lightning flashes and you can see Vagar and Aemon above him, right? Like it's like, and there's also a silhouette of, so there's a silhouette of like Vagar and Aemon, but then there's also Jacaerys and his dragon like underneath, and you can also see the silhouette of him, and somehow it also looks really good. It like works together.
Nice.
But yeah, this whole like shot was really cool. This whole
Very
thing.
cool. Yeah. More
Big
incentive
dragon
for you to
fights,
watch it,
always.
Calvin. Oh yeah, fucking love dragons.
Yeah, dragons are cool.
Dragons
Wait, you
are
haven't
cool.
watched this, Calvin?
No, I usually wait for stuff to be finished because I hate two things. One, I like to binge shows. Just
He has no
generally, I'm happy
patience.
to.
He has no.
Yeah, I have
patience.
no. I think I have the opposite of patience because I wait for the whole show. I guess I kind of have. Once I get into it, I'm like, I want to go.
Yeah.
He has no
right?
patience. If you,
You
don't want
have
No
both
patience.
But I'm
patience
being
and no
patient, like
patience.
waiting for the whole show to be finished.
Okay,
But the other
okay.
thing is, I don't want to get committed and into a show, and then the last 3 episodes fucking blow, or like say the final 2 seasons suck, because then I'm like, this was a whole waste of my time.
So you still got to experience the first 6 seasons that were good.
I would rather have never done that because the whole build-up of the story is the payoff. Like it's like if you read a book and then the last, like the ending, the last third was just the author going, "I like to eat dog shit." Like you're not like, well, at least I got to read the first half. No, fucking.
I don't know if George R. R. Martin's gonna be saying I like
I'm not-
dog shit.
I wasn't talking
Actually, no,
about him for the
he's written some fucking kinky, weird ass shit. There's actually one passage in the Song of Ice and Fire talking about Cersei, how she.
I don't want to know this.
Colton has it memorized for some
Yeah,
reason.
Cole doesn't memorize things. Word
She's so
for word.
vindictive against Robert
Okay.
that she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to lick your unborn children.
Why are we doing this?
It's just he's written some weird shit. You literally talked about how. Wait, would you say something about shit?
I said eating. I said it an example of a bad story, not kinky
bad
stuff
story.
in a book.
All right.
Yeah.
What else did you
Colton
bring?
just
us,
is like,
Colton?
I don't kinky passages. What the fuck? I'm just saying. Usually when I'm watching a show, I
my
wait for it
point
to
is
be
that
over
he's
with.
not going to be writing something that's going to be shit. Like House of the Dragon is going to be good because it's a condensed, like
I wait.
completely
No, for
completed
the
story.
record. Yeah, no, that's yeah. Okay, I thought you were talking about your Twitch thing.
Oh, what the
No,
heck?
I mean, I'm just gonna wait for the end because I might as well because I still like to binge it. Like I'll watch it over like the period of 2 days.
Whoa.
I still like to just do that. Because why not?
That's
You know,
weird.
I'm looking forward to it.
What else
But
you
oh my
watched?
god!
What
Also,
else
the
you
sequences. Are
Okay,
you
yeah.
watching the sequence? Are you guys watching the sequence?
We were.
Holy key, Batman! These
Okay,
poor guys.
This is spoilers.
Moving on to the fire. Oh yes,
so
spoilers for the most
season
recent
2.
episode of House of the Dragon.
So if you haven't watched it, go watch it. But it's vague enough that it's
I mean, pretty big
Yeah.
spoilers. It's spoilers.
spoilers, but
Anyways,
you
okay.
don't see what's
Move
happening
on.
really. All right,
Sweet.
so
Oh,
the
thank
2
you.
most recent episodes, there's a sequence where you're in a dark cave and the exact same
Are
place.
these weird screenshots or are these straight up screenshots?
These are
Like,
straight up
this
screenshots.
What the
This is
heck?
how the color looks
Yeah.
like for both
Mhm,
for the different
mhm.
fire looks. I will say that these are different dragons breathing the fire, but it's just still so jarring of how
I
different
mean,
they look.
you have the first shot you have for both the shots. It's over the shoulder of, and it's like, I'm assuming that's the same character. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Okay. From a baseline, like just color thing, we've got different contrast levels, like pretty differently, like from the
Yeah.
get go. So there are some differences that could maybe be justified,
Could I?
and maybe you could say, are they 2 different dragons or they're the same?
2 different dragons, yes.
I mean, it's still, I think the problem with both these fires is they're one note.
No,
like if you look at
these are
fire,
these are all the same dragon.
are they all the same dragon?
This is
I
all
don't
this
know.
is all Vermithor.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
Oh wait, really?
yeah,
I thought this
yeah.
was,
Remember?
no, this was sea smoke.
That one's sea smoke because she tries
sea
and then it flies away.
Oh, are you talking about?
Yeah, this one's sea smoke,
Oh,
and this
My
one's
bad.
River Thor.
I think.
Right. Sorry, I thought this was
Yeah.
all
Anyways.
from the last episode. Okay.
No,
my bad.
it's 2 different episodes, but it was in the same.
Okay,
same,
my bad. Yeah.
arena area.
And
Okay.
the overall color on the episodes aren't super different.
No,
This
This
episode
one's
was
not
kind of
set in
washed out.
Mexico.
it was. Oh,
Like
I
even
mean,
the
we have
scene of
different
them
contrast levels as a baseline, like
on
just
the
like the
beach
back of.
at the
their
very
head.
beginning was very washed out too.
okay, I have to look at it.
Anyways, I mean, fire sucks because fire goes from like white to like deep reds, just based on like how intense it is. Like, there's no. Yeah, this
But
is
I'm
really
just
weird.
curious 'cause
there's it's so deep. It's either really desaturated and just made to be this like one note.
Calvin, I'll just
Because-
mention that
yeah.
let me mention one thing is that these actors here and here, they're being lit by the same whatever flamethrower device that they built. There's a couple behind the scenes videos that I can even show to you a little bit later. So it should be the exact same rig that they're using.
I mean,
So I
this
don't
is
know if
just
they're-
like this is a difference in DI. You know,
It
like
really
this is just
looks
a
like
color
it.
timing
Yeah.
choice for whatever
Do you-
reason.
So I'm curious as to why they did that though.
Do you think maybe an option or a reason why they did it like this is because the sheer size? First of all, like sea smoke is a lot smaller than the Vermithor was, and then with
Mhm.
Vermithor blowing all that fire, there might be like a shit ton of more
I mean,
smoke.
I feel like
That's
I
the only
need
thing
to
I'm
like.
thinking of.
My
Story
issue is
does
there's
make
a
sense. 'cause
there's a
it's white.
color difference. There's a color difference like in the shots as a baseline, and I think that can straight up account for the fire. Like I don't see, like this is just super desaturated, way more green, way more
Yeah.
blue, a lot less red.
Like it looks like if you would just take the grade off of the right or the left image, they would be the same.
Yeah,
It looks like
that's
just the straight up
that's
the right one
yeah,
is
exactly.
missing.
Like just
So-
looking at like the color of the back of his head. I keep thinking it's Daenerys.
Oh, yeah.
The braids. I haven't seen the show, so not
relative.
Daenerys's head, but like you get what I mean, right? So it's like I don't think these are that different. I would complain more about like the fire being this one note, solid orange.
There's some,
I mean,
some-
supposedly it's real, so at least from. The
I mean, no, they
behind-the-scenes
just beat
shots.
the shit out of it in DI. It's
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, like extra
Yeah.
color corrected stuff to it, right?
yeah, they do that with fire all the time. I yeah.
It's
I
probably
guess that-
just because like TV isn't. You'd have to check the directors maybe, but like a lot of TV episodes aren't all directed by the same, so it could just be the taste of the director. And the second one's like, no,
Let's take a look at it.
we got to keep
Yeah,
it what
this
it is.
this
in
looks like an
camera.
overall color difference to me. I
Compared
mean,
to-
unless the rep, like yeah, like I wish I had Nuke or something open because I feel like if you put an orange grade on the stuff on the right, it would just end up looking like the stuff on the left.
Yeah,
like,
we'll
pretty much
gamma
right.
down.
I think Alex does make the good point. Make a good point in regard to like they probably did that because they're different dragons, so they just want to differentiate.
Maybe, yeah.
the fires. Like, oh,
It was a good show. Maybe it's a different colorist, or maybe it's a different director. Or...
I'm.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
to see if we see them in the same episode blowing fire. If it's like
This
all the
looks like a
same,
color. Like I was expecting more of a difference in the fire. Like I mean, fire is what is it? Essentially, if it's oxygen, it's going to be orange or red, right? So I was expecting maybe it to be like one of those things where burning hydrazine or whatever it makes it like green or some shit. I don't know.
right.
But this, I don't know. I think this is
It's
a great.
it is
issue.
different. It's
But it's still, this is a really weird, great issue to have. You know what I mean? Like this is like why change this color to such a degree? These are back-to-back episodes.
back to
in the
back,
same
but different
environment?
directors.
Are this like the same cave
Same
or
environment.
whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, is it different directors?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So-
there you go.
It could be that, yeah. Yeah,
But yeah, I would be whatever.
yeah. That's our shots
But yeah,
for the week.
House of the Dragon. It's out now.
Great show. Yeah,
On
Or
the
is it
episode,
almost
okay.
done? How close is it to done?
one more episode. It's
Of this
Ooh,
season.
okay.
first season.
Well, this season, yeah.
Oh, is there another season?
I think there's
Think
going to probably
two
be
more?
a total of like 4 or 5.
Right. Oh, I
Yeah.
thought there was only 3. Never mind.